What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy CK. I really appreciate you guys joining in. If it's your first time or you're a returning listener, please make sure to smash that subscribe button, smash that like button. If you know anything about the YouTube algorithm, it is based on that like button, so please smash that. It really helps me just continue to make this content for you guys. I'm really excited to be introducing this new segment on the channel called State of United. I'm going to be uploading these once a week, and we're just going to be talking about everything United, on the pitch, off the pitch, kind of the general feel around the club. It's kind of, as the title says, just the state of Manchester United. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay guys, so if you've been following Manchester United at all this week, you know that this has not been the best week to be a Manchester United fan. We've just been getting brief after brief after brief, and they felt like shotguns to the chest, whether it's an injury, whether it's, people leaving for international duty. It's been really bad, and I think the state of United right now is quite grim, unfortunately. And 3 weeks ago, you probably wouldn't have predicted that 3 weeks into the season that it would be this bad. Now, I know social media sometimes overhypes and over dramatizes things, and that's just kind of part of the world that we live in, but I do think there's definitely cause for concern around United right now. I kind of want to break this mood down to three things: on the pitch performance, off the pitch, and transfers. Now, just talking about on the pitch performance, United have been very underwhelming. And if you were just looking at Twitter, you wouldn't know that United are sitting on 6 points right now with 2 wins out of 3 games. Just because the performances have been pretty subpar, I would say. Especially that first game, everyone was very excited about the Wolves game, and we come out and we win the game, but it was a very underwhelming performance. We go on to the next week at Tottenham. We play a really good first half where we should have finished our chances. We didn't. We end up losing. And then the first 5 minutes of the home game in a must-win game against Nottingham Forest, we go down 2-0. But then I thought that was it's kind of a catch-22, because I kind of thought that was our best performance so far. The way we were able to pin them back, sustain pressure. We scored off a set-piece routine. Rashford looked brilliant. It was actually a really good performance, bar that first 5 minutes. But overall, in this first 3 weeks, it's not really even close to the product or the results or just kind of the mood of the football that we thought we were going to be watching. Now, this is down to a few things. I'm not going to get into all of it. I think the midfield has definitely been a big issue with Casemiro's athletic decline, his inability to cover defensive transitions, and just his positional discipline in general, I think, has left us really exposed. And then the front line has been very disappointing, and especially in those first 2 games, Garnacho and Antony were really poor, making a lot of bad decisions. Rashford clearly upset that he was playing center forward. I thought his attitude was poor, but I do want to say in that third game against Nottingham Forest, both Antony and Rashford responded really well, and I thought played really good games. But now it's just about consistency. I want to see Rashford on the left every game, and Antony just has to continue doing the simple things right. I think that's what infuriated a lot of fans like myself, is just he was doing a lot of the simple things wrong. Simple misplaced passes, passing when he should shoot, shooting when he should pass. The same goes with Garnacho, and yeah, I think they responded really well, but we got to see that moving forward as well. Okay, now that we talked about the on-the-pitch performance, let's talk about some of the stuff that's happening off the pitch. Now, we've basically been hit with like an injury monsoon here. It started after the Tottenham game with Mason Mount. First, it said he was only going to miss a couple games. Now it's 4 to 6 weeks. He might miss the first game after the international break and maybe that opening Champions League game as well. Additionally, we got news late last week that Luke Shaw would be out for, we don't even know, an undisclosed amount of time. As of right now, they're saying could be a few months, could be till November, December. That's also very troubling. And then just today, when I'm recording this video, Raphael Varane said to be out 6 weeks with some undisclosed injury that he picked up against Forest. So it's blow after blow right now with these injuries. And just to go over the full injury list, I have it right here: Luke Shaw, Tom Heaton, Mason Mount, Tyrell Malacia, Amad Diallo, Kobe Mainoo, who we know is going to be an integral part of our team going forward, and then Raphael Varane. Now, this kind of leads me into the next topic, which is the transfer window, outgoings and incomings. And right now, the main position that we're trying to address right now, it seems, is that left back position. Now, that kind of signals to me that both Luke Shaw and Tyrell Malacia's injuries, both are still undisclosed by the club, but it seems like they are much more serious than we might think, just because of their urgency to fill that gap at left back right now. And I know Marc Cucurella has come under a lot of heat, but I think, in terms of the grand scheme of things, it is just a loan. I don't think it's going to make or break our season per se. He's not the best player. He's He's not some world beater. He's not some world-class left back. I'm not saying that. But I think just for the time being, like, we could do worse. And I think Dalla will still be the first choice left back. And Cucurella is just, an extra body, basically, an extra option. People are screaming out for Alvaro Fernandez. I think we've seen with Garnacho how difficult it is to go from, being an academy player to being a first-team player. That's with Garnacho getting first-team minutes last year. So someone like Alvaro Fernandez, who is played a few preseason games, to now come in and start Premier League games, I think that's a lot to ask. It's a lot of pressure to put on him, and so I do think we are making the right decision here. Now, the injuries to Kobbie Mainoo and Mason Mount and the deficiencies of Casemiro have led a lot of fans, including myself, to basically be pleading out for some sort of midfield signing, specifically someone in the first phase, someone that can help us in build-up, someone that athletically can help us to cover defensive transitions as well. Sofiane Amrabat has been on that list. We've gotten links to Højbjerg, which again is one of those names that seems underwhelming, but I think he actually would address, some of those, a lot of our midfield issues actually, just in terms of his athleticism, his defensive work rate, his ability to help us in build up. I just watched their game against Fulham where he started, and while he didn't look great, he did pick up a lot of positions that we would need in terms of dropping into the center back position and that central center back role. And so it's a name, it's not overwhelming. He's not playing a lot for Tottenham right now, but I do think I would certainly take him at this point, because I think that first phase midfielder with a little bit of athleticism is something that we desperately need right now. But from everything that's been briefed so far, from my understanding, we have to sell players first in order to bring someone like a Højbjerg or a Sofiane Amrabat into the club. And right now, there's still a few days left in the transfer window, but it's not looking great. The likes of Eric Bailly is still at the club. The likes of Harry Maguire is still at the club. The likes of Scott McTominay, Donny van de Beek. Those are all players that we really should be selling. And, this club is just so bad at selling players. I don't understand. Yes, Chelsea probably have better players, but they're able to sell all their deadwood off. Some of it maybe to us, you could argue. They were able to sell all their players off for tremendous profit, but we're struggling to loan Donny van de Beek to Real Sociedad. It's taken us months upon months to get a few of these deals done. And from a fan perspective, it's incredibly frustrating when, there's a position that your club needs very much to succeed, and it's dependent on something that the club is very bad at, like selling players. And so I really hope, it's Tuesday right now. The window closes, I think, at 11 p.m. on Friday. So I really hope in that time that we're able to offload some of this dead weight, that we're able to bring in players that we need. I really hope that we can make some change. So yeah, I guess just to wrap up, the state of United right now is not looking as good as we hoped, but I do encourage people to, remain positive. We are only in we're only 12 months into Erik ten Hag's project. There are brighter days ahead. We're going to be okay. It's a big week for United. Obviously, we have Arsenal on the weekend. We have the Champions League draw on Friday, I think. We have the transfer window closing on Friday. So a lot of stuff happening. I'll make sure to keep you guys updated on everything. But until next time, I really appreciate you guys joining in. As I said, smash that like button, subscribe. Please trying to get to 100 subs. Let's try to get to 100 subs before the Arsenal game. What about that? I think we need 15 more subs. So smash that like button, smash that subscription, and I really appreciate you guys as always. See you on the next one. Peace.